Set. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Black Bear TIFF, May 26th. I'll be the acting chair until we, on the agenda item here to elect a chairman. So let's start with agenda item number 1.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yep.
I would make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, agenda item number 1, the election of a chairman. Do we have any nominations?
I'd like to make a nomination. I'd like to nominate you as chairman. I would like to nominate John Badger as vice chairman.
Do I have a second on myself for chairman?
Maybe one at a time.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time here.
I will
All right.
second your nomination. of chairman.
Nominate Jay for chairman.
Do I get a second?
And a second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
Congratulations.
thank you.
You want to make the next one?
I'd like to nominate John Badger as vice chairman.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, so agenda items 1 and 2. Move on to 3. Approval of March meeting minutes. I believe everybody's got a copy. I passed them out here. Has everybody got a chance to review these? I know, Phil, you got a chance?
I have not read them.
I would make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll stay.
I wasn't present.
Okay, well, oh, we have a second.
I made the motion.
Yes. Yes, I second.
Then 2 abstains.
2 abstains.
Okay. Next is the discussion on the direction of the committee. Is that where this comes in here, Ed, or?
You might talk with the vice chair. You just need to get that.
There are a number of moving parts in this. For those of you who are new here, Mr. Levante and Phil, in the recent past, there's been a meeting with New Hampshire DOT about the bridge, and upgrading the bridge on New Road. We have the ongoing litigation regarding the crossing, which we need an update on. We have, it seems, some interest from NCDC on being involved with the Black Bear Industrial Park. Some of us have spoken individually about hiring a consultant to help us in this issue. Expanding the website, the Newmarket website, to have a robust Black Bear TIFF Industrial Park website. And those are the kinds of things that I have in mind as we move forward. I think it might be helpful if we had maybe from Ed an update on from DOT on the New Road Bridge and the railroad crossing issue. That might be helpful.
Sure. John Badger and I met with representatives of DOT. I filed with them a request for an estimate of repairs or upgrade to the New Road Bridge, so that way it would be able to handle truck traffic directly across the bridge into Black Bear, however we may see that work. Also had a conversation with the folks at in Newfields as it relates to the possibility of reworking the area at the intersection of 108 and where the Dunkin' Donuts is. There's some project that's going to be going in that area. They are agreeable to that because I guess there's been a significant amount of accidents that have occurred at ship to shore. And if they were able to eliminate that area, it would be advantageous to them. And they indicated their willingness to see a new entrance and a reconfiguration of that and an upgrade to the bridge because they realize the value it is for emergency services for both Newmarket and Newfields. Going back to the discussion with DOT, about a month and a half, maybe about 3 months ago now, I've sent information to them, back in March it was, to request the information as to the estimate, and have not heard anything back. I've emailed Nancy Mayville, who was a contact person that we met with, and haven't been able to get a response back. I've left her a voicemail, I've left her several emails, just asking if she could give me an update, and haven't heard anything, so I'm going to pursue that. With regards to railroads crossing, the council has taken action against Mr. Stevens relative to the railroad crossing. He indicated that he's willing to return the Ham property, but that's not going to, in our opinion, get him off the hook. We're working on that at the present time, so.
Moving in a timely manner to get this done.
One of the things that we did with the law firm is Attorney Upton suggested that we have, or recommended that we have an appraisal done of the property. So in just giving it back to us, he's going to expect some kind of a remuneration. The value came back at $36,000, and he purchased it at $39,000. So at this point, we have it. Just came in. I guess it was in the last week. Rob has it at the present time and is going to be sending a letter with the deed to Mark Stevens, so should be getting that fairly soon. And then from there will be the next steps the council will be discussing as to how to proceed.
Would suggest maybe we can have some input from the NCDC representative about, there's been some indications, I understand, of working together.
Well, I think there's a willingness to do that. Currently, we're, as a board, meeting only every other month, the next meeting being early in July. But I think there's a willingness to be part of the process and recognize what we've been involved in the past could possibly help you. My question is, this board is an advisory board to the council. We're not a decision-making board. We can make decisions as to what we want to advise the council on. And I'm not too sure that process has happened. It hasn't happened in the 2 meetings I've been to, but I don't know what went on before that. But if the process of this committee does formulate something to be able to advise the council, and it would be helpful to retain NCDC as a helpmate, I'm sure NCDC is going to be a willing partner. No, the real issue is to find a developer. And we are talking about bridges and roads and what have you. I guess I'm sensing that some people already think that might be the right thing to do up in front in order to attract a developer. I guess my tendency is to think of having a developer participate in that process.
Yeah, I guess my thought is that knowing how long things take, especially since as an example, the the state of New Hampshire owns the bridge on New Road. How long would it take them to come up with the funds and the engineering to get this done? It could be years. In the meantime, I would hope that we can start marketing the property. So I don't know, I agree with you, I'm not sure which comes first, but I think we should move down both paths of trying to get the railroad crossing in and have the individual who committed to making the railroad crossing do what he said he would do. In the meantime, in the background, we're also working with DOT on the bridge, and also hopefully we can work with NCDC and establish some kind of a marketing program that hasn't really been done in the past. A much more professional marketing program with the knowledge and the capability of NCDC to move this forward.
I'm sure NCDC would support that process.
Anybody got anything else?
I don't want to sound ignorant, but I'm not up to date on that crossing. Could you explain what's going on there?
You mean in the Newfields area?
No, apparently this, is there a dispute with Stevens with regard his?
Correct.
No, the railroad crossing.
Okay, I'm not aware of that. Could you brief me on it?
Sure. The council and the Black Bear TIFF invited Mark Stevens to a meeting. We had a joint meeting to talk about the railroad crossing
And you're talking about the one out by
at the end of Forbes Road.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of backing up a little bit, when we were discussing the Boise Cascade proposal, Mr. Stevens had requested that the Black Bear TIFF pick up the costs of putting in the crossing, in addition to switching and siding and a bunch of other stuff. The committee said that was beyond what they were going to do. In the end, the project was not one that was viable for the town, but the town still wanted to have Mr. Stevens put in the railroad crossing in order to make the entire TIF district a viable option. Back on October 21st, when Mr. Stevens was here, he indicated to both the Black Bear and to the council that as far as he was concerned, he was not going to put in the crossing, which was a violation or backing out of the agreement that he had signed back in 1988, I think it was, that he would, in exchange for receiving the Ham property, put in the railroad crossing and be responsible for it. So at this point, it's at a standstill, and we've begun to look a little bit at, what is a possibility of options for us to get in at this point, but also to take action against Mr. Stevens to compel him to put the crossing in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one other suggestion, if we could, since there are two people on here on the committee. Maybe we should have a site walk. I don't know if anyone's interested in a site walk out there, but I would be interested myself in visiting the Wilson property. And Mr. Labonte owns some acreage out there, I believe. And maybe it would help us to better understand the property if we went out there and had a site walk. That would be a public site walk. Anyone could join us. Maybe a good idea.
I'd be for that, and I'd also like a handout of the maps that were partially distributed at a recent board meeting that I was at, but I did not get a copy, and I think all the members ought to have a copy of it so we know the footprint that's out there.
Okay.
In my case, I own a goodly part of that, and quite frankly, I don't know where it's at too, so
When would you like to do that? During the daytime, late early evening?
I'm a retiree, I can do it anytime.
What day is golf?
what time's good for everybody? I mean,
What's good for people who have jobs or run businesses or whatever?
I have a job, but I can certainly adjust my schedule. I work out of a home office, so I can adjust as necessary right now.
Same here, I mean, I'm pretty free to,
Would 4 o'clock in the afternoon be workable for everybody?
Sun's up late, yeah.
How soon would you like to do that?
Whenever it's convenient, I guess.
I mean, early as next week, or?
We could set that up, because, I mean, if we could all meet out there, out at the Wilson farm, and then we could travel over to Mr. Labonte's property.
You can drive right in if you want. There's a road in there.
Yep.
If you'd rather do that.
Next Thursday?
What's the date next Thursday?
Next Thursday, 4 o'clock?
The 2nd? Yeah.
What I'll do is I will email all the information to everybody. We'll set it up.
6-2 at 4 o'clock?
Does everybody know where the Wilson farm is?
No.
I'll send you directions.
That's the building that's still standing.
What's that?
Is that the one that's still standing out there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But it's got a very small road to get in, so
Yeah.
I'll send everybody a,
Yeah, you drive right in, they got the,
Yep.
Hampton shuttle.
yes.
The other thing, I guess, Mr. Chairman, if we could, if maybe we could set a date for a meeting with NCDC. And I don't know, does that have to be with the full NCDC committee, if that's your preference? Or would there be some subcommittee we might set up, or what would you suggest?
Well, I can communicate the conversation we've had tonight at our next board meeting, and
And the next board meeting is
early July.
early
I think it's July 2nd, but I'm not certain. What is the frequency of meetings here typically? On call, or is there a schedule?
We
or-
have been going every month, but I think it's up for discussion on when we're going to meet, but in the past, we've gone every third Thursday of the month.
Yeah. I don't know if that's necessary, depending on the number of things that we're doing. I guess I'd look to the committee.
But we get to that item 6 here, so. But that's been the trend, is every month, every third Thursday. So, why don't we just talk about that now, the next meeting date?
Make it the third Thursday of July,
July.
which will be after
After your meeting.
our
After that,
NCDC
yeah.
meeting.
And we would have a portion of your, we would come to the NCDC meeting and meet, or there'd be representatives at the NCD. Would you like that, or would you rather discuss it without us, without the Bike Rare TIF committee being there?
I think the first pass ought to be just my
Okay.
reporting the,
July 14th?
You want July 14th, what'd you say?
Is that the third Thursday? Or the 21st, sorry, the
21st.
21st. Yep.
July 21st.
July 21st?
I won't be able to make July 21st, but I'll have a representative from the planning board there.
All right. Is there any other business? Anything else?
well, I'd like to go back to the search for
Sure.
developers. We've talked about utilizing NCDC. Part of that effort to be effective has to have some degree of networking that goes on, whether it's from this board or from the town. I just don't know what the interplay that goes on between town and the state, the county, planning groups. Are they all aware that we have property and have an interest in moving it?
The folks at the,
Do we attend meetings either from this group or the town that causes us to be in touch with those kind of players?
Well, the folks at the Department of Resource and Economic Development know that Newmarket's interested in marketing the district. Their response was, I think pretty much along the lines of what we've talking about is get a plan of action for that, and they would be willing to then market it. I mean, right now, we're stuck with a sort of a landlocked piece of property with only a very limited access point. And if we add sort of a full access point and we then say we have the 300 acres available and people can choose what they want, that'd be great. They're willing to do that for us. I know at the county level, we have submitted a proposal to, I believe it's to obtain some working funds to help us to market the property. So at the county level, they're able to inform people that Newmarket has available lands that can be used. So.
There's also, I think Diane mentioned, a regional industrial development group that's Northern New England kind of association, and she suggested that we might consider joining that, which is a very inexpensive thing to do, and someone could go and represent. The other thing from my background is if we had a website and a very, what I would hope to be a professional brochure. My background is industrial transportation. Every railroad in the country has a business development department. Major trucking companies have a business development department, and we should consider reaching out to those people also, which I would expect we could do. So I guess
We have to broaden our wings.
Yeah, it hasn't really been marketed well. Maybe we need a consultant to give us a little guidance, I don't know, but from my background, talking to the railroads and presenting that kind of information in a professional way is certainly something we can do. Because we have property that's unique. Again, my background is industrial transportation. We have property that's unique in that it's on a major railroad.
Right.
And we're in a state that is business-friendly, low taxes, and distribution centers. We see them around, and it's a good thing to do. It's a good property to market.
Yeah, and there's the Business and Industry Association, BIA.
Right, exactly.
All right, anything else?
You have the meeting set?
Yeah, the July 21st.
July 21st.
You said you couldn't make that meeting.
And at that meeting, there'll be some feedback perhaps from NCDC.
Yeah, they meet on the 2nd, you said? NCDC meets on the 2nd?
I'm not certain of the date, but I think so.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn,
A second?
if there's nothing else.
Second?
Should have been a second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?